so hitting the scene. Shit tales of Oz and foreigner dreams. Tales are crazy wild as the wind. Laughs and madness can make you spin. Shit tales roll, Florida's king. The podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales roll, Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide. From down under to the Sunshine State, mishaps and mayhem can't escape fate. Chuvalo and Croc Dundee, a wild ride on Podcast C. Shit tales roll, Florida's king. Podcast chaos, it's a wild thing. Tuning folks for a hell of a ride. Crazy stories far and wide.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Craptown Florida Man Power Ranking Podcast. I am NCR News Network, joined by co-host, friend, colleague, and, Anti-Poo Jaga, Mr. Anthony Caruso.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, NCR, and to wherever you are right around the world. Yes, I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, that I am not a poo jogger.
Yeah,
I just want to just put it out there. But
it has been a crazy week this week.
it's just disturbing that poo jogging has come back.
Well,
Last year's trend, as we all know, was stealing copper for some reason. This year, the trend seems to be poo joggers. Like, help me out here. What is going on in this world?
well, at least we can make sure that we're not dealing with poo joggers today, hopefully.
We hope. Before we get started, I believe we do have two sponsors on here tonight. One of them will be connected with one of our stories, but NCR, I believe our actual sponsor, for some reason, is still with us.
Yes. Aura is still our official sponsor. And take a look at the ad. Before we start today's video, we do have a sponsor, Aura. I want to talk to you about Aura. In today's world of fraudsters filming banks, scam callers, people using card skimmers, and data brokers buying and selling your data, you need to make sure your data is safe. And Aura can help. By going to aura.com/NCR, they are offering you a free 14-day trial. That's enough time for Aura to start getting your data off these data brokering websites without you having to lift a finger. In 2024 alone, there were more than 1.7 billion data breach notices issued out in the U.S. In fact, a family member of mine had a data breach in 2024 and didn't realize until this year alone. Aura is your all-in-one digital security, offering real-time alerts for your credit and banking, and if any of your information is found on the dark web, parental controls for your family, and a free VPN and antivirus if you ever use public Wi-Fi. I use Aura myself, and within hours of signing up, they were already sending me notifications that my data was being removed from data brokers. So, scan the QR code or go to aura.com/NCR or click the link in the description box to get your free 14-day trial, which you can cancel at any time. That's aura.com/NCR for your free 14-day trial. And I highly recommend you do sign up for that free 14-day trial. I mean, on both emails, I've got over 30 data removal requests. And it is a lifesaver.
And data privacy is a big thing these days because you need to be able to ensure that you're not getting tracked for anything at all in terms of, unsolicited marketing, advertisements, etc.
Oh yeah, and they cut down on all of that. I mean, they cut down on the spam emails. They cut down on spam calls if you have the app on your phone. It's well worth the service. You're getting a good discount on the service by using my link, or.com/NCR. You get it for like 63% off, which is a great deal. And you can put your family's information on there. You got younger kids, you got teenagers. It really helps. But
Well,
go ahead.
well, with that ceremonial coin is at the ready.
I'm going heads.
Going heads, and it's a tails.
Okay.
Yeah. Gonna kick things off here. Got a quick honourable mention because for the second week in a row, Port Pirie has come 11th.
Ooh, Port Pirie, are you trying to mature?
I think so. I think so. Our 10th place is Mildura in Victoria, where a meth head has been caught stealing his flatmate's panties.
What?
I kid you not. Now, unfortunately, the story is behind a paywall at the moment. We'll be providing all links along with the link to the Shitowns of Australia Facebook page. Make sure you give them a like. But a Mildura man has been caught red-handed, nicking his housemate's underwear in an attempt, he says, to get her and her family to move out of the house.
There's only one thing that comes to mind.
You fucking weirdo.
We're coming in hot with this straight away, aren't we?
Oh yes.
Now, as you know, on this podcast, we do enjoy a bit of naming and shaming, and where it's possible to show faces. Correct?
Correct.
Unfortunately, we don't have a face, but we do have a name. This cretin of a human, his name is Derek Fox. Derek, I think you need help.
You definitely need help, Eric.
You don't go into a housemate's underwear drawer, steal their panties to get them to move out of the house. You don't do that. That's creepy.
It's beyond creepy. It's just one of those unsettling things that you don't want to hear about.
No, absolutely. Who's your number 10?
Number 10 is a Pompano, Florida beach man arrested for illegally spearfishing a protected Goliath grouper. I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to do a quick synopsis of all the stories today, but Juan Nelson, age 42, a Pompano Beach and was arrested for 7 misdemeanors, including spearfishing within 100 yards of a public beach and fishing a prohibited fish in the state of Florida, according to Fish and Wildlife. Mr. Nelson decided to go spearfishing and speared a Goliath grouper. Now, that is a protected species of fish in the state of Florida, where Goliath groupers can weigh more than 100 pounds.
Jeez, that's a decent size.
Oh yeah, Goliath groupers, they were popular back in the day for hunting and fishing because the size and the weight. But I do have a picture of Mr. Nelson.
Let's see it.
Those are the eyes of a man who thinks he's the next David.
Is that Bradley Cooper from Temu?
It does look like Bradley Cooper from Temu. I was wondering what he looked like. I'm like, he looks so fucking familiar.
Dude, oh, I feel so bad for Bradley Cooper.
But
Oh,
let me pull
dear.
up a picture of what one of these fish look like so people can understand the seriousness of this. because these are really big fish. I mean, they're not nothing to mess around with.
Curious about
Here we go.
this. Because as you said, this is an endangered fish, correct?
Yes.
That's not a small fish.
Yeah, these fish are protected for a reason. I mean, and he legally poached one. I mean, it's a hell of a fish. It's pretty much a damn dinosaur.
That is massive. That is absolutely massive.
Moving on to number 9 for Australia.
Number 9 takes us to a town we've never covered before.
We'll send him a gift basket.
Indeed. Wonthaggi in Victoria. Now, those of you who are wondering where the hell is Wonthaggi because you have never heard of it before, Wonthaggi is down well past Melbourne. You're basically in between Phillip Island and a little place called Wilson's Promontory. Now, Wilson's Promontory is the most southerly point of the Australian mainland. It's that far south. Phillip Island, not far from Wonthaggi, has a really cool motorbike track, and they race superbikes and the MotoGP down there. Really cool spot. However, this incident, not so cool. A Drongo S has received a court summons after drink driving, which happens. But what were the circumstances? She drove to a police station to report items that have been stolen. It turned out she'd just misplaced them.
Okay.
This is a particular kind of special. Again, unfortunately, behind a paywall, although if you want to get the story of it as well, 3AW do have a podcast link to this story when it was reported. But an intoxicated woman who went off to a Bass Coast police station has been stripped of her license after blowing almost 4 times the limit. And just for context, the legal limit in Victoria is 0.08. So she blew almost 0.24.
Wow.
Sorry, no. Sorry, I'm wrong. Almost 0.32.
Oh, wow. That's even worse.
How is she still alive?
I mean, that is crazy.
Now, she claimed that she had numerous items stolen from her premise. Here we go. It is alleged that on the 12th of June, 2025, about 3:10 a.m., a female from Ryan Stand drove a car to the Wonthaggi police station to report an apparent theft. Upon speaking to police, the driver was found to be in an unfit state for driving and impaired by alcohol, so a breath test was conducted. So, yeah, she blew nearly 0.32. The apparent theft was later found to be a situation where the item had been misplaced and was easily found at the driver's home when police drove the driver back after the test. The driver was served a notice of immediate driver license suspended and will be getting a summons to go to the Corumburra Magistrates Court in a few months. And if you go to the Facebook page where this was actually posted, someone actually posted in the side comments, "Shit Towns of Australia, surely this has to make Sunday's power rankings." Well played. Well played.
She blew that fucking high. I mean,
Yeah.
Everything else aside, being that drunk where you misplace items, I think somebody steals them. And then to drive yourself to the police station. How was she able to stand up and operate a vehicle is beyond me.
I don't know. But I've got to say, You know what I love doing when we go through some of these stories and they pop up on Facebook?
Hmm.
The side comments.
Mm.
What was the theft? A bottle opener? Someone answered, it was a bottle opener, a glass barbecue, and a bong.
Did somebody steal her lost shaker of salt?
So doing a narrow warrant is cool. Asking for a friend. Oh God, I love some of this. Who's your number 9?
My number 9 is kind of in a similar boat, but a Florida
Hopefully
man
not
is
in an actual boat.
no. A Florida man is accused of hiding over $1,000 of worth of tools in a medicine chest cabinet box at a Home Depot.
Oh, this is gonna get good.
So, our Florida man, James William Downs, age 44, went to a Home Depot and had bought a $22 medicine cabinet where he had took the cabinet out and began to place over $1,000 worth, or nearly $1,000 worth of Milwaukee power tools inside of the box. So he went to West Palm Beach Home Depot and began to load in several hundreds of dollars worth of Milwaukee brand power tools using a utility knife and a flashlight to steal the high value tools and place them in the box. The total amount of the stolen items was about close to $1,000, around $900, a little over 900, a total of $986.70. Now, loss prevention officers realized that he was stealing stuff when the Be on Lockout was initiated. They asked to search his receipt. He shows them the receipt, but notice he's struggling to hold the box where they found the items. He was arrested and taken to West Palm Beach jail for grand theft. Now, James has a very interesting look about him, and it just I can't describe it. You know what that face says to me? Honestly, you know what it says?
Go on.
Oh, fucking do it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But come on, man. I get it. You need tools, but why steal using a medicine cabinet box? That's my question. It's like, out of all the things you could have done,
That's nuts. That is absolutely nuts.
well, it is Florida, man. So what can we expect?
True. This is true. This is true.
Who is number 8?
Number 8. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. I need someone to come and help. I need someone to come and help. Guess who it is? It's Troy time.
I'm Troy McClure, and I'll leave you with what we all came here to see. Hardcore nudity!
It's coming in early. Airlie Beach in Queensland. And brace yourself, ladies and gentlemen, because Queensland, this is the first of 4 stories to come out of Queensland this week. A pest has whipped his dick out in a watch house after being arrested for allegedly wanking in a phone booth.
Why?
Reasons.
Okay.
unfortunately behind a paywall. But a man who has been accused of public masturbation in a Mount Julian phone booth was arrested, taken to a watch house. He then committed further offences by whipping his dick out and proceeding to masturbate again.
That is Hank.
That boy ain't right.
We don't have a name, but we do have a picture. Get a look at this wanker.
Literally.
Yep. That's a very, very sharp dome, isn't it, as well?
It is. I mean, he's got a look of sheer willpower and intent and focus.
Tell you what, can I say as well, that is a massive jaw as well.
He looks like an action figure brought to life.
He really does.
It's Winkman with his kung fu grip.
And once again, with the ability to find the story on Facebook, the side comments. You ready for some of these, NCR?
Fire away.
Oh, give the man a break. He got interrupted and had to finish. Someone then wrote, look, he looks like a jack of all trades. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Someone's called him Clark Cunt. Well, what's your name, bloke? Jack me off. No, actually, his name is Wayne Kerr.
Clearly, he's a Diddy supporter.
We got to
He's
find
protesting
more.
for Diddy. He's protesting for Diddy.
Hey, mate, you got it all wrong. It was a prayer to our Lord and Savior Harambe.
You're awful.
Hashtag dicks out.
Harambe would not approve of him.
Not the bruise. And before I get into more trouble from our Lord and Savior Harambe, who's your number 8?
Number 8. A knife-wielding Florida man terrorizes apartment building while stabbing a Ring doorbell camera with crazy eyes.
What is it with Ring doorbells these days?
Ring doorbells are bringing us a lot of footage these days.
Yeah. I mean, nothing beats still the pair of alligators hitting the Ring doorbell.
They just wanted a cup of sugar.
That's all they wanted. Go on with the story, though. I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, trying to get the story to load up here. But this happened in Hollywood, Florida. So, yay for Hollywood.
Yeah.
But apparently this week, a knife-wielding Florida man has been terrorizing this apartment complex. Approaching neighbors' doors for no reason, pounding on them, and when one of these doors had a Ring doorbell camera, he stares into it, holds the knife up, and starts beginning to stab at the Ring doorbell.
Stabbing a Ring doorbell. Oh.
I mean, I'm trying to get the story to load up, but this is from what I read. Nobody had any like problems with him. He didn't, there was no arguments that led up to this. It was just he's always been one of those guys in the building that's just been kind of offsetting. I'm sorry I can't get the story to actually load up. It's not wanting to load, but I do have the Florida man with a still image of him stabbing the doorbell. I'll bring this up. But look at his face. That is intent. He wants to do harm.
Is that our truth?
No, that's not our truth. I confirmed it was not our truth.
Okay, thank God.
Our truth would not approve.
No, definitely would not approve.
But here's the thing. They reported this to the apartment management and the cops. And at first, the apartment manager was like, well, it's not a big deal. The cops actually did arrest him. He was taken into custody. But this is like crazy for Florida man. And that's saying something.
Oh,
Let's move on to number 7.
number 7. Number 7 for the shit towns of Australia. Well, it's another story out of Queensland. Unfortunately, it's not Townsville. But in terms of the name starting and the standard of people who live there, it's not that far off. It is Toowoomba in Queensland.
Good old
And-
Toowoomba.
Toowoomba. But this is amazing. A Gronk in a dress has attacked a man outside a pub, claiming he rooted his ex-wife.
Okay, I've done a
Now-
lot of things for vengeance, but never that.
No, I know. But what I can tell you right now is there is a noise I can hear coming in the background. I can just hear it now. Oh, boy. Hang on. There's more.
I think I hear it too. Could it be?
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be more reason than this guy rooted his ex-wife.
Now, unfortunately, damn you to the people of the Chronicle for putting the story behind a paywall, because it's the kind of thing we need to be covering on this story. Frank McGrath has pled guilty to a pub assault, a bizarre break-in, and a drug-induced attack. A loose unit in a dress attacks a man claiming he slept with the ex-wife. A man in custody on alleged rape charges has pled guilty to bizarre and concerning crimes, including a public attack outside a Toowoomba pub where he threatened to kill a man for sleeping with his former partner while he was wearing a dress. Frank McGrath.
This is one of them things that just makes you say, huh.
Like, yeah, I don't know how to explain this, honestly. And we can't even get a photo of Frank McGrath, unfortunately. But, yeah, you've got to imagine a hairy bloke in a dress assaulting another guy because he allegedly slept with his ex-wife.
I mean, this is just like an episode of Jerry Springer.
It really is. Where's Steve when you need him?
So, Frank, tell us why you're wearing such a lovely outfit.
You don't know me, Jerry. I'll do what I want.
Let's bring on Frank's ex-wife, Michelle.
Oh.
Frank, I told you, stop stealing my dresses.
Probably was, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled a Bill from King of the Hill.
Oh dear God, that's it. I'm getting off this story. Who's your number 7 before I get any more bad thoughts?
Number 7 is a Lake Worth, Florida man breaks into somebody's house while the suspect is on a live feed raiding the refrigerator.
What the hell?
Yes, deputies say a man tried to dodge outside surveillance cameras only to be caught inside rummaging around in the refrigerator. This took place in Palm Beach County, where the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office got a report for a residential burglary on the 1600 block of Seashoe Drive. Excuse me, in the unincorporated Lake Worth. They found a unknown 49-year-old man named Jose Garcia in the kitchen raiding the refrigerator. Now,
Jeez.
it gets better. He successfully dodged most of the outdoor cameras, but once inside and began to burgle the house, he felt a bit peckish.
Yeah.
We all been there. Working on a car, doing a bit of laundry, a little bit of B&E. You get a bit hungry. So he begins to raid the fridge. As the police enter the house, he's midway in the fridge. He was arrested and booked in for counts of burglary on an unoccupied dwelling. And I do have his picture. I have his picture.
Oh, let's see it.
Florida man.
Oh, that's.
But, I believe we have a statement from him.
I know I shouldn't eat thee, but sacrilegious.
Factual.
100%.
Yep.
Moving on to number 6.
Number 6 for the shit towns of Australia, and we're going to remain in Queensland. That is a hat trick of stories out of Queensland. And we're not done with the state yet.
Oh my.
This time, we're off to Gladstone in Queensland, where a Gronkess tries to punch cops after flashing her tits at a resident.
I didn't know you guys celebrated Mardi Gras.
Well, actually, we do, but it's usually done in Sydney. A Gladstone woman who exposed herself in public before throwing punches at police also threatened to kill a Department of Housing staffer. Yeah, great start there. This is just, unfortunately, again, behind a paywall. It involves public nudity, so no photos are available for this. But, if a woman is threatening to assault police and is flashing her tits out, it's not going to be going well.
I mean, this is a new one for us on the show. I mean, we've had women expose their breasts on the show. We've had threats to the police. We've had threats to public workers, but not all three in one story.
Yeah. That is, she wanted to get amongst it, clearly. Who is with that? Who is your number 6?
Number 6 is, well, A Florida man tries to pay for spicy entertainment at a Florida club, calls 911 to complain about not receiving services. Yes, yes, I am not making this up. This could only be Florida. And before we continue any further, I just want to give a special thank you to our news outlet who brought this story to us.
I'm your moderator, Larry King. Now, a word to our audience. Even though we're being broadcast on Fox, there's no need for obnoxious hooting and hollering.
Yes.
Oh,
we're
it's
having-
going to be good. It's going to be good when it's covered by Fox.
Okay, so this is what kind of threw me off because I was hoping it would be in Polk County because they have the exact same initials, but PCSO, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, got a call about a man at a Clearwater Club claiming, well, the deputies got a call from security saying that a man took from him a man $300 and used it to attempt to pay for relations with one of the employees.
Jeez.
A 21-year-old man, hold on, I'm trying to, named Sultan Al-Nafeh.
Sultan.
Yes. Went to the Oz Gentlemen's Club near Clearwater shortly after midnight on Sunday, June 8th. Al-Nafeh told the dispatchers to come take him to jail, then explained that he had paid a worker at the club for sex.
Hmm?
And they did not return what he paid for.
That's a
Okay.
bit disappointing, isn't it?
Yes. Staff at the club told the deputies that Al-Nafeh had been asking for a private room along with sex from a staff member. 911 when his request was denied is when he decided to call them. The smell of alcohol was very obvious, according to the sheriff's department. They also charged and arrested him for misuse of wireless 911 services. He is a Saudi Arabia resident living in Broward County. So the fact that he went to Pasco is just a bit funny to me, but I do have his picture.
I'm looking
And-
forward to this.
I'm just going to say this. This is just one of the best mugshots we've seen.
Yeah,
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
he looks like a Sultan.
Listen, buddy, my friend. I pay for girl, but girl don't give me fun time. Sir, you can't do that here. That's illegal. What you mean? I'm Sultan. Just because your name is Sultan does not mean you are the Sultan, sir.
Yes, he is the Sultan of Swing, isn't he?
Well, we know he's not the Sultan of Love.
Yes, it's true.
But I love the fact that it's almost like he's giving us a modeling headshot.
That photo looks AI generated. It has to be AI generated. Is that actually real?
That's the actual mugshot.
That looks AI generated. Jeez.
You,
What
honestly,
foundation is he wearing?
I don't know, but if you look at those modeling headshots or like headshots for like auditions, it's like he's giving us serious dramatic look.
Find someone who looks at you the way Sultan looks at the camera.
I mean, it's like, give me blue steel.
That was genuine Blue Steel.
That man was trying to make love to something, but at least it was the camera. I joke around a lot, but seriously, do not do this. This is a bad call. You do not want to piss off the security guards at a gentleman's club in the state of Florida.
Yeah, agreed.
Little fun fact for our wrestling fans out there. The wrestler Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon, once was a bouncer at a gentleman's club.
I think that's how they also found Dave Batista, wasn't it?
No, it's the Godfather. The Godfather.
Godfather.
He used to be the daytime manager at Cheetahs. And here he has a funny story because he hated dealing with pimps trying to come into the bar and trying to poach girls. And he would come in, walk in the middle of the floor, and say, "If there are any pimps in here, you better be out by the time I get back." Leave, come back in, and if he saw one at the bar, he would just slap him out of the chair.
No wonder his hoe train was always full.
Indeed. Moving on to number 5.
Number 5 takes us to Glenorchy in Tasmania, and considering the theme that we're going to be dealing with, we're going to bring our other sponsor in here tonight. Want to make sure you're looking your absolute worst when you go to a court case to try and lose custody of your children? Then make sure you visit our good friends at BSBT Dentistry. With the finest in tooth decay and the very best in hobo looks, BSBT Dentistry will ensure that you look like you've just been snorting coke off a man's cock in the back streets alley. We also have very big specials for sovereign citizens and people who don't accept the jurisdiction or the requirements to be a father. Make sure you check us online at bsbtdentistry.com and make a booking today. BSBT Dentistry, proudly smashing your face right through a wall. Why have we got BSBT Dentistry coming in on this story? Hillbillies have been sentenced after filming their dog mauling a wallaby. And yes, they are genuine hillbillies. We'll show you the photo in a moment, but let's go to the story first. A Tasmanian couple who filmed their dog attacking and killing wallabies have been handed suspended prison sentences in a case a Supreme Court judge described as wanton and gratuitous cruelty. 37-year-old Trista Lee Mulross and Anthony Michael Blackaby, age 46, encouraged their Staffordshire Bull Terrier Billy to attack 3 wallabies at Dominic College in Glenorchy across 2 separate incidents in February and March of 2024. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Escott sentenced Mulross to a suspended 6 months sentence behind bars and Blackaby to 3 months, also suspended, after both pled guilty to charges of aggravated animal cruelty. The court heard disturbing details of how the couple filmed the attacks, with Mulross heard saying, "Kill it and finish it, Billy," as the dog mauled the helpless animals. During the first incident on February 27, Blackaby grabbed a wallaby by the tail and neck to present it to the dog, while Mulross recorded the attack and provided encouragement. "She's about to rip its tail off. Go, Billy. Good girl. Finish it, Billy," Mulross could be heard saying in footage presented to the court. I'm not going to go on with it because it sort of repeats itself down a little bit further, but that is straight out disgusting.
Why do that to a wallaby? I mean, wallabies are, they're little baby kangaroos, not actual baby kangaroos. Those are joeys, but they're just little miniature kangaroos and they're adorable.
Now, would you like to see why I requested BSBT Dentistry to sponsor this story?
Why not?
Check this out. That is their wedding photo.
Oh, wow. You guys are really, really pushing the white trash factor.
Oh, that is... And here's the best part. Check out the vest underneath the chief suit.
Oh, mate, what you calling cheap? I got this from the Sears, mate.
He can't even put the tie inside the vest.
Well, clearly he's never worn a nice suit.
And what about the tramp stamp?
Those tattoos are clearly jailhouse issued. I mean, like, I'm not trying to shame people's tattoos. I have tattoos of my own, but if you look at her forearm, you can see where yeah, the light's messing it up, but it's so blown out that the light saturates it. And if you look at where the eye is, you can see that the shading and the fading in is just too wide.
What's this over here?
I don't know if that's a mole or another tattoo, but it could be both.
Oh, jeez. And then look at this. Look at his teeth. He
I
has
went
been
to
to
the
BSBT dentistry.
I had to look good for me wedding. So I went
Wow.
to BSBT and I got the daily special.
Did get the special. Jeez, that is wild.
I just can't get over
Glenorchy,
the fact.
Tasmania.
I just can't get over the fact they had the dog attack a wallaby. Wallabies are just like so passive.
And staffies, if you raise a staffy properly, they're the best dogs around, especially with kids. Why do that to a staffy?
You know, that's one thing that pisses me off as a dog owner. Like my dog, she does do a bit of nipping now because she's an older dog. She's lost a lot of her sight, so she's relying on her senses. So, you know, she gets startled easy when you try to pick her up to pet her, and she does do a little bit of a nip. But you know, you get a dog, you raise it right, you train it right, and you don't get these kind of problems. But when you get people like these two fine folks, so I hope you get a nice trip to H Division. You ruin dog breeds for good people.
That's ruined. That's seriously ruined. Who's your number 5?
Number 5 is another Florida man, but this time it's a bit of a pissed off situation here. A Florida man urinates on over $10,500 worth of Spam and Vienna sausages in a Sam's Club alley.
Jeez.
Yes. You've heard me correct. A Florida man urinated on $10,500 worth of Spam and Vienna sausages in a Sam's Club store. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Sam's Club is, it's like it's a big warehouse store where you can buy in bulk, similar to Costco. Now, the 70-year-old man found an unattended pallet of the canned Spam and Vienna sausages in a Sam's Club at Lady Lake, Florida, resulting in over $10,000 worth of damages. Patrick Francis Mitchell was caught on surveillance camera and committing the act in aisle 18, where he had targeted 188 bulk units of Vienna sausages and 345 units of classic Spam. He approached the unattended pallet, presumed position, and stayed there, remaining there for several seconds, where it was later revealed on surveillance equipment that he had urinated on both pallets. Now, there's not much more to the story here, but you know, he was arrested for criminal mischief, classified as a felony due to the severity of the damages, where he pled not guilty and is currently out on a $3,000 bond. And you know, Spam is getting a big pickup, you know, with the recent release of the live action version of Lilo and Stitch, and Spam being a very popular delicacy in Hawaii. I believe our Hawaiian viewers are highly angry.
Jeez.
Now, I'm not a fan of Spam or Vienna sausages, but you know, spam can be used in a lot of different ways. There's this cookbook. It's like over 1,001 ways to cook spam. Hopefully he could read that while he's in jail. Would you like to see our urinator?
Oh, let's see it.
Ah, blessed ads. Here we go. Look at this gentleman.
Oh, dear God.
Clearly. He's satisfied with himself. That is a look of a man that just says, do it again.
That's the look of a guy that's given up on life.
It is. Who is number 4 for the shit towns of Australia this week? I'm taking
Number
a wild
4.
guess.
Yeah.
Queensland.
No, it's Sydney.
Ah,
And for this story, get the wood chipper ready.
Reggie, would you and Dwayne please go get the wood chipper ready?
Yeah, get it ready. A Gronk has been charged with trafficking after tricking his wife and kid into a family holiday in Pakistan and then leaving them there.
Oh, you sick bastard.
A Southwest Sydney man is facing human trafficking charges after allegedly leaving his wife and one-year-old child, stranded in Pakistan. The charges stem from an investigation launched by the AFP in February 2025 following a report from the woman claiming her husband had left her overseas without essential documentation after the family travelled together from Australia. It will be alleged the man, 45, deceptively convinced his wife and child to travel with him to Pakistan in August last year. On arrival, he allegedly took the child's passport and abandoned the pair at the airport before returning to Australia by himself later that month. It is alleged that in November last year, the man fraudulently cancelled his wife's Australian visa and kept possession of the child's passport. The wife was able to return to Australia in February 2025, which is when she reported the incident to the AFP. Working with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, AFP investigators facilitated the return of the child, who was an Australian citizen. The man is facing charges of trafficking a person from Australia by using deception, which carries a maximum penalty of 12 years in prison.
Look, I get you have family troubles, but you don't need to go that far. Just get a divorce. Separate. Do what you need to do. Don't do this. This is just.
You are a bona fide scumbag.
I want to nominate him for Golden Turd because that is just.
Yeah, that is a worthy nomination for the Golden Turd.
I mean, like I said, if you're having family troubles, separate. Get counseling. If you can't make the thing work, get a divorce. Do not punish the children because of your inability to be a decent human being. I mean, everybody knows I'm a very passionate person. I do not like crimes against children. I think you deserve the biggest wood chipper we can find.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wood chip this clown. Would chip him right now.
God,
who is your...
Times like this, I wish Chopper was still around.
Oh, Chopper would have done a number on him. He would have absolutely done a number. Who is your number 4?
Well, number 4 is a bit of an odd one because have you ever heard of, manifesting destiny by name?
Vaguely.
Like people's names indicate what they're going to be in life.
Yes, I have.
Florida woman with the last name of Fail arrested for successfully using a baseball bat to smash 3 of her boyfriend's relatives' car windows, then stalks her boyfriend.
Oh, that is amazing.
Okay, wait for the name. Antoinisha Fail. is this woman's name. Age 21, is facing multiple felony charges after she smashed several vehicles with a baseball bat, then struck her boyfriend, and left their nonverbal child alone in a parked car early Tuesday morning, according to the Miami police. Jail records show Antonisha Fales was arrested for 3 counts of felony criminal mischief, over $1,000, amongst one charge of child neglect without great bodily harm, aggravated battery, and resisting without violence.
Jeez.
Now, she went to the victim's apartment and began to vandalize his car and multiple others, smashing out the windows and mirrors with a ball bat. It turns out the vehicles belonged to her boyfriend's relatives. Second report came in of a windshield smash on the passenger side mirror. A third woman reported she walked outside about 4:47 in the a.m., where she saw Fales striking her vehicle with the ball bat and then fleeing the scene. Fales was also arrested where a Ring camera, yet again, Ring, if you're out there, please give us a sponsor,
Jeez.
was caught damaging a fourth vehicle, her boyfriend's, and then when he came out, struck him with the ball bat. Police say Fales and her boyfriend had been in a 7-year relationship and shared 2 children. Now, this is where it gets worse. She had left her nonverbal child alone. Who was later picked up inside of a parked car a block away from the scene. Fales caught him cheating and denies the abuse. But there's camera footage. Okay. She was arrested, and as of Wednesday, is being held on a $3,951 bond at the Turner Gulf Fort Knight Correctional Facility. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does a charming woman with this great last name look like? Would you like to meet Miss Fales?
Oh boy. Let's say it. I'm very nervous.
I mean, this is manifest destiny.
She just looks like she just does not care, does she?
Oh,
I got the surname Fail. I don't care anymore.
I mean, if you're not familiar, there was this thing back in the late 80s, early 90s when the big self-help movements were going around, where they would say if you wanted a successful child, you would give them a name that would manifest greatness. So, you would see people like, well, I'm going to name my son after this great baseball player, or I'm going to name them something that's powerful. Like, you would see people get like names like Jaguar or, War Book. I'm like, okay, I get it. You guys are trying to give your kids a good focus, but did Miss Fales fail with having the last name of Fales? The world will never know. It's that time.
It's medal time.
Who is the bronze medalist this week for the shit town?
Oh God. We're gonna need Goofy again. we're gonna need Goofy again
All right.
because we're off to Melbourne. Remember that IVF company that transferred the wrong embryo to patients?
Do you mean? Well, Goofy.
I'll fucking do it again.
Yeah, they've done it again.
You know what I think would be better? Can we get a word from CJ?
Oh shit. Here we go again.
The shit IVF company has transferred the wrong embryo to the a patient again. A major fertility group has incorrectly transferred the wrong embryo to a patient. The second incident the company has apologized for in recent months. In an announcement to the ASX on Tuesday morning, Monash IVF said the incident happened on June 5 at its laboratory in Clayton, Melbourne. The patient's own embryo was incorrectly transferred to that patient, contrary to that treatment plan, which designated the transfer of an embryo of the patient's partner, the announcement said. Monash IVF has extended sincere apologies to the affected couple, and we continue to support them. It comes 2 months after the company revealed a Brisbane patient was mistakenly implanted with another patient's embryo. The patient gave birth to a baby who had no genetic link to her later that year, which the ABC understands happened in 2023.
This is are they trying to recreate Jane the Virgin down there? I'm serious.
I have no words for this. Like, it's not enough that you've gone and mixed up embryos. You've done it twice under similar circumstances.
You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, again, shame on you. Who's working that fucking facility?
I don't know. I honestly do not know. Monash IVF, I think we need to have a talk.
You know, you guys need Hooked on Phonics. We can get you that. Do you guys need, better label makers? We'll get you those. I mean, this is, all jokes aside, this is a serious thing. I mean,
there's one question I could ask him right now.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
I mean, this is a bit of gallows humor from our end, but we have to for the seriousness of a lot of these stories. But I mean, I feel bad for the original embryo owner and the mother here, because she's bonded with this child. This child, she's got a bond to this. I mean, yeah, not her DNA, but that child, she raised in her womb. She did everything she could to make sure this was going to be a healthy and safe birth. And, the joys with giving birth, it's just ruined now. Like, my heart goes out to them.
Jeez. Oh, I don't know what else to say. Who is your bronze medalist?
Bronze medalist for Florida Man is dedicated to all the metalheads out there. So, my people. But a Florida man builds a guitar using his uncle's skeleton to honor his metal legacy.
Okay, that's different.
This story is straight out of a heavy metal fever dream. And this is coming from the article from Quirky. This is not city in Tampa, but it's the name of the website. It has the story. But a Tampa-based musician known as Prince Midnight turns his uncle's skeleton into a fully functioning guitar. Okay, so the guitar in question is called the Skelecaster, a play on the Fender Telecaster guitar name, because he used a Telecaster to make the guitar.
Yeah.
Now, this has been reported several times because the story was picked up originally in 2021 by the Huffington Post, Guitar World, CBC Radio. So, Prince Midnight's Uncle Flip, passed away in a tragic car accident in 1996. And his skeleton was donated to a medical school where it was used for anatomical classes for years. Well, the school no longer needed the remains. And they contacted the family and asked them what would they like to do. They store the remains, but they would charge them a storage fee, or they can give them the remains and they can pay to have them stored somewhere else or pay for a funeral plot, a cremation, whatever. Well, Flip's parents had passed away, so it falls to Prince Midnight's family as the last living or closest living relatives. Well, the parents, being Orthodox Greek, believe they cannot perform a cremation. And they can't afford a burial plot. And they can't continue paying for the storage fees. So Midnight steps in to be the hero of this story, saying she didn't want to pay anymore. And then I was like, I'll take care of it, he said to CBC. After getting the red tape involved with the funeral home and the U.S. State Department, he managed to get his uncle's remains, returned and shipped to Florida, where he turned them into the guitar inspired by a friend's custom-built instrument. It just popped into my head. I'm going to turn Uncle Flip into a guitar, he said. That's the best way to honor him. He would love this idea. Okay. Explaining what he was going to do to his mother, the mother was quoted as saying, at first she said it was sacrilegious and the work of the devil. Turning your Uncle Flip, that's the devil. To Bobby Boucher's mom.
I'd say it in a different light.
Oh, all right. My man Cornflake got the spirit. He a little confused, but he got the spirit.
Well, he stood his ground and built the guitar. Building the Skelecaster, primarily a technical challenge already alone with it, but he took the old parts from a Fender Telecaster, and added several decorations to it, where he built a fully functioning guitar using the rib cage, the parts of the spine, and the pelvis.
That's impressive.
I do have two pictures to show you.
Let's see them.
The first picture is of the Skelecaster.
Okay.
Don't need an ad for magic. Here is the Skelecaster.
Okay, that's to be fair, that's somewhat impressive.
I'm not going to deny the impressiveness of turning a skeleton into a guitar, but okay, why? But the next picture I want to show you, this is what Prince Midnight looks like with the Skelecaster.
I'm curious.
You know, you're not really giving us metalheads a good name here.
You know what? You look like you play in a Poison tribute band. Oh, what do we call? Oh, that's right, Cyanide.
A loving tribute to Poison. I thought we were Rat.
We need a ride home.
But I mean, I've heard of worse things to honoring the memory of somebody who's fallen. I mean, I got a tattoo of my brother's name and stuff, to honor him. Miss you, little bro, but I want to go that far. I mean, I think my mom would whoop my ass on every show and every video I ever did. It's like, how could you do this?
Look, I admire his spirit. I admire it.
I do. I admire your spirit, sir, but I think you could have done better.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Although I do believe if I was to attempt that whole idea, I would be coming to you and some of our friends saying this to me.
You have been kicked in the testicles.
I'm sorry. I need gallows humor. It's how I function.
Oh, no, I know.
Who is your silver medalist, sir?
Our silver medalists, we're heading back to Queensland, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to Bundaberg. A psycho has set a truck driver on fire for the sole reason that he didn't give him any money.
So he wouldn't give him money, so he sets him on fire?
Yeah.
I have to hear more. I have to hear more.
Well, let's get the theme right.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Wiser words have never been said.
Indeed. A Bundaberg truck driver was sitting in his car after arriving early to a shift when he was allegedly approached by a man who doused him in lighter fluid and demanded money. Following investigations, police charged a 22-year-old man from Avenel Heights over the incident. He was also out on bail. Truck driver Terry Lee, 55, works at Ace Fabrications at Avenel Heights. On the morning of Monday, the 2nd of June, at 5:30 a.m., he parked his ute on Ritchie Street. According to police report, 22-year-old male, not known to Terry, pulled up beside him in a white SUV and demanded cash. Terry was sprayed with lighter fluid and his shirt was set alight. Thankfully, Terry was able to quickly exit his vehicle and remove his shirt. A co-worker saw what happened and rushed over, calling 000. Terry was taken to hospital with minor burns to his right arm. The alleged offender drove away in the white SUV but damaged Terry's car while leaving the scene. The 22-year-old was charged with 10 offences, 2 counts of each of possessing dangerous drugs, of course he was, an offence to buy or possess medicines or hazardous poisons, and 1 count each of acts intended to disfigure, attempted robbery, armed, in company, used personal violence, authority required to possess explosives, possess property suspected of having been used in connection with the commission of a drug offence, failure to appear in accordance with undertaking, and, of course, breach of bail. The alleged offender was refused police bail and appeared in Bundaberg Magistrates Court on Monday. Details of the court appearance have not been made to public.
This is just wild. I mean, I'm rarely at a loss of words when it comes to these stories, but did he honestly think this would work?
I don't know. I mean, clearly the guy was on drugs as well, but yeah, just didn't work.
Maybe he thought he was putting another shrimp on the barbie.
Oh yeah, wrong lighter fluid, mate. Wrong lighter fluid indeed. Who is your silver medalist?
Silver medalist is a hustle. I mean, it is a straight hustle and a half. But a Florida man was convicted for posing as a flight attendant to score more than 100 free flights.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, your heart's in the right place, buddy, but a 35-year-old man was convicted by a federal jury for scamming more than 120 free flights, posing as a flight attendant. The U.S. Department of Justice announced on Tuesday. Okay, I have to figure out how to pronounce his first name here because it's very unique. Not like Miss Fails, but it's up there. Teron Alexander was found guilty of unlawful entry of a secure airport area under false pretenses. Now, the prosecutor says Alexander exploited the program of entering as a flight staff member to book 34 flights without paying for them between 2018 and 2024. Now, he provided roughly 30 fake badge numbers, a hiring date, to successfully exploit the system to travel through dozens of time zones and at no cost of his own to go on these trips. Now, here's the crazy thing. He hasn't been sentenced yet. His sentencing date is August 25th. Would you like to know how long he's expected to be in federal prison?
How long?
30 years.
Jeez.
Now, there's no picture of him, but this is a serious crime, and the TSA authorities in Atlanta field office responded saying they're pleased that they received a guilty verdict on all 5 counts against Mr. Alexander. His conviction supports and provided to us by the Department of Justice and the TSA Investigators Office a strong partnership with the Institute of Law Enforcement. Alexander was able to board flights by falsely obtaining boarding passes. He unwittingly approached the TSA staff security checkpoints and got through with limited to no examinations. I mean, this is a crazy story, but I have to respect his hustle. I don't respect what he did, but I respect his hustle.
Yeah.
On that note, who is the gold medalist for the shit towns of Australia?
This one's a rare one because it is so wild in this city. I'm gonna report both stories only because it is that ridiculous that these two stories would have done it. These two would have been big enough that this town would have won it on its own, but they've done it together. It is a runaway win. The shittest town of Australia for the week ending the 15th of June 2025 is Perth, Western Australia. Story number 1. It's back. Residents have been evacuated after a tsunami from a burst sewage pipe floods street, homes, and parks. Yes, the Perth tsunami has struck again. A sewage pipe burst on Friday morning, causing sewage to spill into the suburbs of Hamilton Hill and Spearwood. Measures taken to divert the wastewater away from Spearwood caused a second burst in Beaconsfield on Saturday morning. Authorities say it could take days to fix a burst wastewater main that kickstarted a number of sewage spills in Perth's southern suburbs over the weekend, with residents still reeling from the stench of wastewater that inundated local parks. The problem started when a sewage pipe burst on Friday morning in the suburbs of Hamilton Hill and Spearwood, causing wastewater to flow down a residential street to 2 homes in the front yards of another 4. To stop the flow of wastewater, authorities needed to switch off the pump stations and pump the sewage away from the area. but the diverted pressure caused a second burst in Beaconsfield on Saturday morning. The odor was still affecting residents in Beaconsfield on Tuesday morning when a large pool of wastewater could be seen on the soccer pitches at Bruce Lee Reserve. Residents have also been told to stay away from Hamilton Road and Westonia Park and Spearwood and heed warning signs and barricades that have been put up in place to protect the community.
Oh,
Only one thing comes to mind.
It's just not right. It's really eerie here. Something's fucky.
thank you, Bubbles.
Something is incredibly fucky. And to start off with, here are some of the photos of the burst sewerage. Look at that.
Oh,
That's nasty. Now, there's the drone footage trying to clean up one of the parks in Spearwood. There's the poor sod trying to walk through it. There's the football field covered in sewage. There's one of the streets.
you know, seeing the football field there. Usually it's not uncommon to see, shit on the field, especially insert rival team you hate.
Yeah.
But Perth, I mean, y'all got to fix that plumbing system, man. Y'all eat too much Taco Bell.
Mate, this is the same town, remember, that had that fatberg going around.
Well, at least they didn't do anything to hurt Brian Adams.
Oh, God. Yeah, not this time. And just when you thought that was enough, the other story. A serial poo jogger has been caught on CCTV shitting outside a health clinic, the same health clinic, 4 times.
I just have to say it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Perth organisation calls out a woman who defecated on shopfront multiple times. Perhaps we need to leave some jogger doggy bags out. Asbestos Diseases Society of Australia reported strange behaviour, calling for public health after the dodgy jogger was caught on CCTV cameras on multiple occasions using its location at Osborne Park in Perth as a public bathroom. We have reported the matter to the police in the city of Stirling. Perhaps we need to leave some doggy bags out. Apparently it's becoming a commonplace practice for joggers. The poo jogger struck the Perth Support and Advocacy Organisation on 3 occasions between December 2024 and April 2025, all about 6 a.m. Thankfully, the city of Stirling is increasing patrols around our businesses at that time. Yes. Now, here's the fun fact. A study by Monash University said gastrointestinal symptoms are common with athletes who participate in sport, noting that some may experience GI symptoms with an estimated prevalence of 30% to 70%. Clinical psychologist Grant Breck told the Sydney Morning Herald that the act can have an adrenaline rush similar to the feeling of taking a hit of heroin. And just to rub it in, yeah, indeed. And just to rub it in, we do have some photos of the poo jogger.
I'm glad they're grainy, but
yeah, in color.
Do we really need the color photos?
Oh, I know. Hence, now you can see why I've tagged myself not a poo jogger.
Well, I thought it was fairly obvious.
NCR, who is your number one?
Okay. Number one is a crazy story, but a disgraced Florida man pastor, turns down a year offer and now faces the jury where he could be getting a life sentence.
I'm
Eric-
curious.
Eric Redon, a Miami Gardens pastor, was arrested 3 years ago for charges of stealing from an elderly man in Northwest Miami-Dade and stealing his home. He turned down a plea deal this week that would have just been a year in jail, but is now facing a possible life in prison sentence. Now, again, he turned down a 1-year jail plea offer. Is now currently facing a possible life sentence. The 40-year-old, well, he would have been facing a year in prison and decades on probation, I should say. Let me clarify that. Not just the year in prison. He would have been having several decades of probation. Redding was 49 years old and could end up in jail between 6 years to life in prison for the crime he committed here. Now, in 2022, he was arrested for defrauding an elderly man, a 65-year-old man, by swindling out of his retirement savings and all that, $267,000.
Jeez.
He then also got him to sign over a quitclaim deed and had him pay him fees of $15,000 on that. Now, Redding is facing charges of exploitation of an elderly person or disabled person, amongst organized scams to defraud, to commit conspiracy, to commit an organized scam and defrauding, theft from a person of age 65 or older, grand theft. I mean, the property was worth $1.7 million. Now, he was offered this plea deal where he would admit guilt, take the year in prison, decades on probation, pay restitution for one of the properties that to the owners of $150,000, and then another $46,000. Instead, this man thinks he's going to get away with this, so he's going to take it to trial.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm going to show you, Mr. Redding.
This is insane. The story is just straight out insane. We've both got two very good submissions for number one.
This is our Florida man.
Whoa!
Right, faster.
That's a massive forehead.
He looks like a discount version of CeeLo Green.
He does. He really does.
But this is why I made it number one. I mean, he could have easily taken the plea deal. Year in prison, 5 years of community control, restitution, and then, a couple of decades of parole, which would have been his best option.
Yeah.
Because that gets in front of the jury. The jury hears how he swindled and defrauded this elderly man. They ain't going to have no sympathy for him.
Oh, no. They're taking you down.
You're going all the way down.
Yeah.
And again, because you turned down the deal.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Completely correct. completely correct.
That does it for this week's list. I mean,
Wow, what a big episode that was.
it was. I mean, we've had poo joggers and disgraced preachers. A metal enthusiast honoring his uncle in a most peculiar fashion.
Oh. We've had a man assaulting someone else in a dress after claiming that the guy rooted his ex-wife. A very much a Jerry Springer moment.
And let's not forget the Sultan.
Indeed. Oh, yes, the Sultan. Indeed. Indeed.
Mm.
Oh.
Let us know down below in the comments section who you think is the winner of the Golden Turd. I think we already know who that's going to be.
I think the MVP is a few up there for the MVP this week.
Oh yes. Well, on that note, I am NCR News Network.
I'm Anthony Caruso.
And we will see you guys next time.